watched this show yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. Because I'm about to spoil it for you. Because we got to chit chat. This show had me all the way messed up. So if you ain't watched it, hit the favorites so you can come back and we can chit chat about it. And you go ahead and watch it because I'm about to give all the spoilers. I'm just saying. When I tell you, I had all the judgment in the beginning, like first episode, which is usually the pilot is trying to grasp our attention, really get us locked in. I'm over here about to lose it on this mama. Because ain't no way you allowed your child to go somewhere and you not know where they go. Like, you ain't never been there. Because I'd be doggone if I do that with my kids. I don't play about my kids, okay? So, Milo gets abducted. And I can almost immediately see that Marissa and Peter have some type of resentment, frustration with one another. The first episode, Peter was very quick to say, it's all your fault, basically. And I was just like, where is this coming from? I was kind of guarded with that. Then I noticed all the people around him. The brother, he's physically challenged due to an accident. The sister, she seemed a little, everybody was a big red flag to me, the whole family. And I've watched enough shows and seen family dynamics enough just in other things to know that usually rich people have a lot of problems. And these people were very wealthy. When I tell you, I was like, why is this house so big and they only got one child? I was so confused. But it ain't my money. It ain't my money. But I was just like, but then I realized the brother lived there. It's not the third. So the mom is really, I just could not understand how you sent your baby somewhere. So then the second episode come and I really see the dynamic. Okay. I don't know what it is about men putting all of the children responsibilities on the woman. That really grinds my gears. Just being a woman in itself. Because I got to figure out work, the baby, and just trying to juggle our lifestyle. Meanwhile, you get to only focus on the baby when you feel like it and work. That's not fair. Like, it's not fair. I'm all about teamwork. It drives me nuts. And not only did I see it in Marissa and Peter's relationship, but also in the girl, Dakota Fanning's character, Jenny and her husband. He over here like acting as if he can't do nothing or he got a certain time limit with the baby. But I'm going to just say what I got to say. I knew Peter was the psychopath in the show. He plays a good villain. I watched him in another show on Peacock that y'all need to go watch. But the level of craziness that Marissa didn't necessarily understand, and the let me just talk about the private investigator. He was so smart. He looked at so much detail. I was really like, wow. And at the end, I just could not believe. But for Carrie to be, and I was so pissed in the beginning at the nanny, Anna. I think her name was Anna. Why are you telling Carrie all of your boss's business about their family and their children and their child? Like, is you crazy? I don't care if y'all both nannies. If she asking how much money we make and, where we go on vacation and what Milo like, why you ain't see that as a red flag, Nanny McPhee? You're fired, is all I gotta say. So she's hiding something in the beginning. The nanny is. What I noticed throughout the show, everybody is hiding something. And I thought it was the mom. Because I'm going off the title. You know what I'm saying? But no. So then we all find out that Peter liked to play Superman. He the villain though. Like 100% the villain. He liked to create craziness and then be the Superman to save the day. When it got to the episode where the brother find out that Peter was actually the one who caused him to be physically messed up in their childhood, and he was willing for the sister to have that much guilt throughout her whole life after, to the point where she is in rehab throughout her whole life because she thinks she's the cause of her brother being messed up, and you were the one. I was like, doggy bone, Marissa. And then Marissa is just finding stuff out about her husband over and over and over. He's so secretive. I don't understand how they could coexist and be in a relationship. Like, he literally got a call for the ransom, didn't tell his wife, and then the whole thing, how it just released at the end. So Carrie's dad, aka Josie dad, I was so confused on why he took out Josie's boyfriend, but it was because he was scared or whatever. But when I say the icing on the cake was Peter, they get into an accident when you have, I was really feeling for Marissa. She handled it way better than me. You understand what I'm saying? She didn't let her emotions guide her. She made sure she moved in purpose when she found out that her husband, because my first initial thought was, when I first watched the show, they must have adopted Milo. That was my first thought. Before it to come out that they got into an accident, right? And the daddy was the only one conscious and switched the babies. What? So he kills Josephine and my guy from Lawrence. He always gonna be Lawrence to me. Lawrence from Insecure gets shot, but then Peter kills Josie, because he was scared that she was gonna reveal. Because Josie had already came to, this baby ain't gonna never see my son, as the mother. So I'm just gonna tell her, Marissa, to watch out for your crazy ass husband. And I had to put the ass. And this fool, he kills her in front of his wife because she's about to reveal the tea. Only for him then to have to tell her anyway. So, Josie better than me. Ain't no way I would have been able to think straight without, I would have told the police. Like, I don't know. I couldn't have lived with the psychopath. I would have been scared for my life. So she find out in an instant that her baby died in a car accident. Her husband switched the babies. He knew Josie was alive. And even if he didn't, he still switched the babies. And then she knows the information based on what he did to his own siblings. And then he's trying to look like the savior. And in the beginning episode, he said it's all your fault. No, it's all your fault, my guy. You are crazy. A crazy maniac, might I add. And then he wants me to pretend like it's normal. Everything is everything. So I gotta grieve my born child that died in the accident. Then recognize that I am raising someone else's child. So I'm feeling her pain of like, dang, as woman to woman, mom to mom, then you're a complete monster. Monster. And then you want to look like the superhero that got the baby back. When this was all because of you. And I'm so glad she ain't nothing like me. I'm so glad she took the time to process her next move when it came down to how she was going to deal with Peter. And I was a little leery when she went and told Jenny what happened, but she had to tell somebody. Like, your nanny is my child's biological mother. And my husband is a psychopath. Not only did he do something to his own siblings to the point where they all are enabled in a way of like always counting on him because he makes so much money. Not only is he was the reason why we got our child back because he was scheming, bro. But I loved how they played it because they kept saying he's allergic to soy. And I was like, that's the way to get him. I didn't know how she was going to play this. But then to see the level of arrogance that he had. He at old boy's funeral, not his funeral, his repast or whatever, after the funeral. And he talking to the sister like, it wouldn't have never worked with you and old boy anyway. You are the reason why we are even in this. This man is so delusional and so psychotic that he don't have no remorse that he did anything that he did. None. He had killed Josie's dad, killed Josie. And I'm just like, made her go through all these great lengths. I wish Josie would have went to the police, but she probably thought they rich. I ain't got no money. They don't think I'm lying. I would have just been like, give a DNA test. I did get into a car accident with these people. But no. And when she said, I heard my baby, I was like, oh my God. Oh my goodness. I felt so terrible for having I'm like, it gotta be something. But I knew when she met Milo for the first time, when they was in like this little creek area, and she said, I see things this way too. And then she did the whole, but it was just like the which and where and the way she went about it. But Peter was so confident and so cocky that he was going to just get away with all of this. And I'm glad that Marissa was like, nah, bruh, it's time to go. But the private investigator was so intelligent to figure out the whole thing. Because if I was Marissa, I would have probably ended up telling the police. But this is why it's important to always process new information before acting on emotion. Because they would have taken Milo from her, possibly. And they would have thought she staged all this, or might not. Because once the private investigator told her the case is closed, but told her, like, I know, and I know what you did, it was like, okay. But Milo still had surviving family members. His mom's mom and his dad's mom as well. Foster mom. So she was just like, I ain't taking no chances. And I'm so glad she ain't nothing like me. I'm so glad she took the time to process her next move when it came down to how she was going to deal with Peter. And I was a little leery when she went and told Jenny what happened, but she had to tell somebody. Like, your nanny is my child's biological mother, and my husband is a psychopath. Not only did he